У нас багато завдань, багато своїх задач різних, різнопланових по обороні міста, по будівництву оборонних споруд і тому подібне.
Buses were so packed that it was impossible to cram them into a bus and take them out.
Світло, вода – це моментально.
People were indignant that during the war we're cleaning the streets.
Hello and welcome to Ukraine in Flames, a special project by Ukraine Media Center and NGO Euro-Atlantic Course. I'm your host, Maria Romanenko. After every Russian missile strike on Ukraine, people in high-vis clothes are the one we see arriving and working on the scene first. These are firefighters, rescuers, street sweepers, and of course the employees of heating, water, gas and electricity providing companies. All of these important jobs can be considered as municipal services, and this is what we'll talk about in today's program. So if you want to find out more, please continue watching this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our videos in the future. Let's first hear Deputy Mayor of Dnipro in central Ukraine, Mykhailo Lysenko, explain how the city survives the damages inflicted by Russia.
By and large, the work of public utilities has not changed at all since the beginning of hostilities. What has added work to public utilities is the so-called prompt elimination of the consequences of strikes. There were quite a lot of strikes upon the city of Dnipro. For example, there was a big damage on the roadway on Kalinova Street when the road surface was destroyed and all windows flew out in the neighboring houses. I don't think this is any news for the people of Ukraine. However, all road damages were eliminated within 24 hours. We had a similar situation, but more complicated. Close to a plant, the main water pipe with a diameter of 700 millimeters was damaged. As a result, people in one of the districts remained without water for several days, but we fixed it all in the shortest possible time. As for what else has been added, it is of course the restoration of windows. All damaged windows are restored at the expense of the city budget. It doesn't matter whether those houses are a part of the association of co-owners of an apartment building, or private houses, communal or non-communal property. We begin with covering windows with film in the first hours after damage. We order a specific size for each window. At the beginning we tried to make the standard sizes, but then we gave it up since they are not always accurate. And actually, we install glass in the shortest possible time. Sometimes people may say, why have you glazed my window but haven't glazed the balcony? We do not glaze balconies at all, but we restore every damaged window. There were other problems related to strikes. One of the pumping stations, the sewerage pumping station, was disconnected as a result of damage of the power grid cable. But within an hour, we've got the station running due to mobile generators. That is, in fact, any mobile station works with a full tank charge somewhere around 9 hours. So we are ready for such challenges today. To eliminate the consequences of strikes, an emergency recovery crew of at least 30, 40, or even more than 50 persons is involved. If necessary, even 300 people are involved. There was a strike yesterday and some posted images of street cleaning machine, and people were indignant that during the war we're cleaning the streets. We cleaned, we clean, and we will clean the streets. We continue working as we've done before. The only problem, of course, is an outflow of personnel. About 20% of public utility workers, in particular drivers, volunteers for the front line in the first days of the war. I had a talk with them, and I didn't know that many of them had been tankmen, APC or IFV drivers.
Gennadiy Koshevoy is the head of traffic safety at S.M.I.T. His company evacuated hundreds of people out of occupied Berdiansk in the Zaporizhzhia region. Let's hear him describe how they managed to do it.
4,500 people went outside Berdiansk, and we picked them up and took to safe places. Of course, there were a lot more people who wanted to leave, but the buses were so packed that it was impossible to cram them into a bus and take them out. People were standing in the bus or sitting on someone's lap. There was no disagreement between people. We took the elderly, everyone, all people tried to leave the occupied territory. When local volunteers came, the people were given food for free, and no one demanded any money, nothing. We took them to Zaporizhzhia, where they were further distributed to volunteer centers. Problems were created by the Russians, who did not let people travel freely. They kept stopping people, checking on them. Mobile phones were taken away and checked. They constantly took people out at every checkpoint. They demanded men to take off their clothes. There were permanent searches. They were hindering the exit in every possible way. Nevertheless, we took people out and they were happy. There was a situation when they stopped people at a checkpoint. A girl said she would not undress. The soldiers made her do it. She was indignant, and then they hit her with a gun stock. Then a man came up and tried to resolve the situation. Naturally, the man was also taken away to clarify something. And yet, there was nothing we could do to help, even if we wanted to. We were told to sit quietly and not to go anywhere. They mistreated our people. Moreover, they knew they were leaving for Ukraine. They abstracted everything in that situation. At the checkpoint, all passengers and even the drivers got off the bus and were ordered to form a line. Russians conducted personal searches of all the passengers. If the soldiers did not like the look on somebody's face, they took those persons aside. There were cases when 5-7 people were stopped, despite the fact that all our passengers had passed the filtration procedure and different checks and had all relevant documents on hand. If Russians didn't like a person, they simply took him away. We do not know the further fate of these people. Once, during the switching of passengers from their 3 buses to our 3 small buses, they put their machine gunners and equipment on guard to prevent people from switching to our buses and leaving for our territory. At the front line, they tried to shoot at our vehicles from the distance. The buses were stuck there, but our rescuers eventually helped us to reach our territory. It was the beginning of May. We were in Mariupol, mostly elderly people. There were very few young people. They hugged us and were happy that they came to Ukraine. They repeatedly tried to leave for Ukraine, but some of their buses left for the Russian Federation, and they were afraid to the last moment that they would not get to Ukraine. All the way they asked us and clarified whether they were really going to Ukraine, because they were scared of everything.
Nikolay Logvynov is the director of Mykolaivoblteploenergo, which is a state-run company responsible for providing heating to the residents of the Mykolaiv region in the south of Ukraine. He explains how the organization is managing to keep people warm this winter.
Коли почалась повномасштабна війна, у нас ще була зима, і підприємство не надавало б тепло населенню міста Миколаєва. І якраз це був початок повномасштабної війни, коли стирали гради, урагани, піони, і до нас прилітали по мережам, прилітали по котельням, то підприємство вчасно виконувало свої обов'язки, вчасно ремонтувало, і в нас не було припинення подачі теплоносія більше ніж на 5 годин. Це важливо. Прилітали по котельням, були зруйновані поскронені котельні, але ми їх відновили. Прилітали на котли. У нас болванка з граду впала прямо на котел, який якраз працював. Теж відремонтували все це. Мережі були пошкоджені обстрілами цими осколками від градів. Їх теж відремонтували. Mykolaivoblteploenergo, крім того, що воно дає тепло, ми будували блокпости, ремонтували техніку, наварили тих буржуйок, там вже сотні. Їх ніхто не рахує. Тобто, у нас там листи є, тобто, там не 2, не 3, а реально сотні. Ми допомогли водоканалу в свій час подати технічну воду до міста Миколаїв, що інших варіантів не було, бо за півроку відсутності води мережі прийшли б в повну негодність. Зараз підприємство допомагає водоканалу, вже вчора відремонтували, нам дали там кусок роботи, ми його вчора закінчили на основному водогоні. Крім того, підприємство займається, ми пробурили вже 45 свердловин, ставимо станції зворотнього осмосу і надаємо людям питну воду. У нас наразі 30 станцій вже є, навіть, по-моєму, 31 вже, і буде всього 85 станцій зворотнього осмосу. І люди будуть, поки на протязі військового часу, будуть безкоштовно отримати питну воду, очищену. Тому у нас багато завдань, багато своїх задач, різнопланових, по обороні міста, по будівництву оборонних споруд і тому подібне. Сказати, що ми можемо все відремонтувати, не скажу, але будемо старатися зробити все максимально.
And finally, let's go to Zaporizhzhia now, where Volodymyr Shtapko will show and tell how one building severely damaged by an October the 10th Russian missile strike is coming back to life thanks to municipal workers.
Вже опалення ми вчора дали перший раз, вже навіть відзвітували в обленерго, що у нас вже підключений частина 3-го під'їзду і повністю 4-й під'їзд. Зараз його все допрацьовуємо, утеплюємо труби. Там, тому що ми всю ж систему самі переварили і переробили. І на часі будемо йти на перший під'їзд. Ось вже утеплюємо підвал, щоб можна було пустити нам обратку, щоб і дощі не заходили. Ми вже залагодили стільки, що нам тільки залишився газ і в перший під'їзд опалення. І відбудувати другий під'їзд, і все. Це перше.
Це трапилось, буде
15-го ми вже закінчили, да. Це другий, частина 3-го. Да. Це закріпили оці плити, які навісають, що вони, не дай Бог, не впали балками зі стовпами. Немає газу і немає опалення, але завтра до нас приходить вже служба «Ремонтник 96», яка пройде, нас провірить всі вент-канали, вентиляційні канали, випише нам акт, і ми з цим актом бігом в Горгаз і кажемо їм, що ми готові до підключення, давайте нам відремонтовуйте газ. 10-го, вже 16-го була вода.
Тобто ми вже тижнями все це спрацювали.
Світло, вода – це моментально. Навіть світло почали відновлювати це десь на 3-й день. Так. І відразу приїхала служба з обленерго. Перше, все там зробили в ТП, що треба, воно там теж було пошкоджено. А вже тут, що ОСББ, то нам всі послуги подають, як то кажуть, до фундаменту. А вже після фундаменту робимо все ми. Вони там включили рубільник, а тут же всю цю розводку робили ми. Сантехніки, зараз на криші роблять опалення. Ось приїхали мої дуже відважні сварщики, які всі поварили цю всю там систему опалення. Зараз вони нам будуть закріпляти ці труби, щоб вони, не дай Боже, не впали, бо вони всі з водою. В перший день ми поїхали, отримали в місті від районної влади USB, вони нам допомогли дуже багато, дякую їм. Дали нам шифера і завдяки цих будматеріалів ми змогли закрити всі вікна і відремонтувати дах.
Ага, це відразу пішло.
Так, це зразу ми почали робити. Я ж кажу, що на 5-й день дуже швидко. І я кажу, районна влада справилася з цим лихом. Я так розумію, на відмінно. Тобто зразу у нас було тут розгорнутий пункт,
Наметове таке містечко.
наметове
було.
містечко. Це все таке було
Ну, да,
згуртовано,
дуже
організовано.
приємно,
Дуже справилися районна влада на відмінно.
You've been watching the special project by Ukraine Media Center and Euro-Atlantic course dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine in Flames. In our pinned comment, you can find information on how you can help Ukraine fight Russian aggression. If you find our work useful, please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. Slava Ukraini!